Hello everyone, welcome to the Adarsh Rath report and today we will discuss about food industry. बहुत लोग बोले कि हम लोग crave कर रहे हैं for another podcast and I have taken it literally and hence the food industry. Before introducing my guest, let me talk something about food industry. So this food and food processing industry in India, the market size is around 4,300 billion rupees, right? 4,300 billion, and it is projected to grow at 12% year on year. And the anticipation is by 2030 the market will be 11,200 billion rupees, which is huge. This is Indian food market, and its contribution to GDP is around 11%, which is 11% of manufacturing GDP and 9% of overall GDP. And interestingly, the employment that it generates, food industry, is over 10 million people. The number is huge. And the recent data says the e-commerce and online food delivery was worth $5 billion in 2022-23, so which is again huge, and it is expected to grow to $20 billion by 2026, which is not very far. But with all of these good data, there's some alarming data as well. The food waste in India, it is around 67 million tons of food that we waste, and it is around 40% of the entire food produced. इसका मतलब हम लोग 60% कंज्यूम करते हैं और 40% हम लोग वेस्ट करते हैं, राइट, विच इज नॉट वेरी गुड साइन. लेकिन जब हम लोग वेस्टेज का बात करते हैं, हम लोग सस्टेनेबिलिटी का बात करते हैं कि उसका कुछ प्रॉब्लम तो है ही, बट सोल्यूशन क्या है. सो दिस सस्टेनेबिलिटी, ऑर्गेनिक फूड, ये सब का बात हो ही रहा है. एंड देन the demand is increasing. Interestingly, the growth is around 20 to 25% because लोगों का भी awareness बढ़ रहा है on health and sustainability. That also we will discuss. There is another thing which is technology. Technology is everywhere. So food processing में भी agri tech का startup है, अभी precision farming, supply chain, ये सब में भी अभी technology का use है. Automation in food processing. This is also an area जहाँ पे AI का भी use हो रहा है. And very interestingly, consumer का भी preferences are changing. Consumer का preferences changing मतलब urbanization increase हो रहा है, disposable incomes बढ़ रहा है, तो लोगों का भी convenience उनको ज़्यादा चाहिए. उनको हर चीज तुरंत चाहिए. दे नीड इट फास्ट, दे नीड गुड क्वालिटी एट अ वेरी चीप कॉस्ट एंड ऑल्सो इन अ क्विक टाइम. तो उनको रेडी टू ईट मील चाहिए, उनको पैकेज फूड चाहिए, लेकिन उनको हेल्दियर प्रोडक्ट्स भी चाहिए. एंड रिसेंटली आप लोग सुने होंगे कि प्लांट बेस्ड डेयरी, मीट ऑल्टरनेटिव्स, ये सब का भी बात हो रहा है. सो ऑल ऑफ दीज थिंग्स वी विल डिस्कस समथिंग, बट ये सब डिस्कशन के लिए today we are thrilled to have with us Mr. Avinash Patnaik. So he is a culinary genius and he has made his mark as a MasterChef India 2023 fame, right? So Avinash is not just a master in the kitchen, but he is a true innovator, blending the art of cooking with research on edible flowers. Yes, I repeat, edible flowers, right? And he is curating traditional Odia recipe and making an impact through his passion for teaching as well. ये एस्पेक्ट भी हम लोग आज बात करेंगे. His love for food goes beyond cooking because he talks about preserving heritage, he talks about promoting healthy living and inspiring others to connect with their roots, which is actually very, very important, right? So let's dive into his inspiring journey, his experience on one of the most popular stages in India, which is MasterChef, and also we will talk the vision of this, his vision for the future of food, future about food industry, and also about his passion. So thank you, Avinash.
Thank you for inviting me and for such a long and wonderful introduction that I have ever got.
No, I'll tell you, when I was researching, आपका there's so much about you, लेकिन मैं सोचा सब मैं ही बता दूं, फिर डिस्कशन में कुछ पॉइंट बचेगा नहीं. So
इससे पहले भी इतना लंबा किसी ने इंट्रोडक्शन मेरा दिया नहीं है, so it was very overwhelming to hear that.
Thank you so much. So let us start with your childhood and early influences. So just share your early memories and your connection with food, because how did you grow up, and growing up in Odisha, and how did that influence your relationship with food? I'll talk about food and then we'll come to this, but you tell about your childhood and how did you.
As if I talk about my childhood, I was not born in Odisha.
Okay.
So my father, he was in Air Force.
Okay.
So that was one reason, like I was born in Kalaikunda Air Force Station.
Okay.
So I had I'm known for Odia food and thing, but my connection with my roots initially was not there. I was not even speaking Odia was far difficult for me at initial stages. So I was born there in Air Force campus. So we were.
So you were born to fly actually.
Yeah, that way you can say, like, yeah. And I'm lucky to have such people around me who have allowed me to fly. So yes, so I was born there in Air Force campus, Kalaikunda, and then as a normal kid, you were like in a civilian life is quite different from that of a defense life.
Correct.
So I had a very disciplined lifestyle over there, going to school within a campus. The best part of like how I got connected to food and thing, there was like diversified people inside an Air Force campus.
Correct.
तो बहुत अलग लोग रहते हैं.
You get to know different cultures, right?
तो खाना पीना वहाँ पे they will have society जहाँ पे women's club होते हैं, वहाँ पे बड़ा खाना होता है. So there were officers वहाँ पे खानसामा होते हैं. They cook amazing food out there. So बचपन से ही मुझे जो खाना है ना, बहुत अलग अलग तरह का खाना खाने को मिला और बहुत ही उम्दा खाना, जो कह सकते हैं कि जायकेदार खाना. तो
और ऑल अक्रॉस इंडिया का खाना मिला होता है.
राइट. So that was there, like I was in Bengal. वहाँ पे my childhood best friend, आज तक अभी तब तो वो टाइम नहीं था कि फेसबुक, इंस्टाग्राम, फोन,
सोशल मीडिया.
आई एम नॉट इन टच. दे वर अ बंगाली फैमिली. हम लोग स्कूल साथ में जाते थे. देन अनदर फ्रेंड ऑफ माइन, वो था महाराष्ट्र से. तो हम लोग जब स्कूल जाते थे तो उनकी मम्मी मेरे लिए अलग से एक और एक टिफिन उसे देती थी. तो उसका नाम मयूर था. आई फॉरगॉट हिज सरनेम. तो मयूर और हम साथ में स्कूल में पढ़ते थे और उसकी मदर एक एक्स्ट्रा टिफिन देती थी और सेम खाना जो उसके लिए बनता था वो, और मेरे लिए एक अलग से एक टिफिन आता था.
ये कौन सा एज की बात है?
आई थिंक आई वाज इन माय LKG UKG.
ओह, दैट टाइम.
अच्छा. So I'm talking about that time. So his mother will always give it extra tiffin. हम लोग साथ में बैठ के खाना खाते थे. So
when did you come back to Odisha?
It was in 93. Like हम लोग 93 में वापस आए. तब स्टैंडर्ड 1 मैंने फिर my father got transferred to Bhatinda.
अच्छा.
फिर हम लोग पंजाब चले गए वहाँ से.
मतलब सब पूरा खाने नोन फॉर खाना, मतलब बंगाल हो या बटिंडा.
बट कैंपस में आपको वो एक्सपोजर नहीं होता, और तब वो टाइम भी नहीं था जहाँ रेस्टोरेंट कल्चर, फूड कल्चर वाज दैट प्रोमिनेंट. और हम कैंपस के अंदर ही बहुत सारा अलग अलग खाना खाने को मिलता था. सोसाइटीज में फंक्शंस हुए, फेस्टिवल्स हुए, यहाँ से किसी अलग रिलीजन का खाना,
शेयरिंग फूड. यस.
वहाँ पे चर्च होते थे. लाइक यू हैव फॉर द चर्च क्रिसमस के लिए वी यूज्ड टू गो फॉर द कैरल्स. वहाँ पे केक्स मिलते थे, पेस्ट्रीज मिलते थे. तो आई गॉट एक्सपोज्ड टू डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ फूड. It was not like as a kid you got to eat Indian food as well as same point of time, like you get all this bread, pastries, जो कि थोड़ा western inclination जिस पे रहता था.
But what was your defining moment जहाँ पे आपको ये spark हुआ कि नहीं, I must go with as a kid, या अब जब बड़े हुए तब पता चला कि नहीं, I have to do something creative?
Like see, I have always keep on discovering myself. Correct. I think आज भी अगर मैं बोलूँ तो I'm still exploring myself कि और क्या क्या चीज मैं कर सकता हूँ. I never limited myself within one particular thought process. और ये खाना हो गया, ये creative aspect हो गया, it has all just happened with me. मतलब मैंने कभी
ऐसा प्लान करके
कभी कुछ प्लान नहीं था, क्योंकि जिस एनवायरनमेंट में हम बड़े हुए हैं वहाँ पे आपको सिर्फ पढ़ाई करना सिखाया गया था. Like you have to be a good kid, you have to study well, you have to get a job, like the typical middle class mindset that we have. It's not never taught to you that. And being from an Odia family, we are conservative at that point of time. Families were very conservative.
Correct.
We can't pursue something which is creative.
So did you ever thought कि मेरे को ऐसा शेफ बनना है या
नहीं, never even
so what was your aspiration when you were a kid? क्या बनने का मन था?
I was like, as a kid I never had an aspiration
Nothing,
to be
no,
something. I think
just to grow up.
मैं शायद जब स्कूल में गया तो मेरा बेस्ट फ्रेंड जो था, जब स्कूल यहाँ पे उड़ीसा आने के बाद, वो लिखता था उसका एम है डॉक्टर बनना, तो उसको देख के मैं लिखता था कि I want to be also doctor. I never had an aspiration to be a doctor, but then gradually like when we passed our schooling, then we did our +2 and all that time, we got to know कि you have to take career options were only two things, engineering or medical. Correct. My father wanted me to be a doctor, and since I was writing that from my childhood that I want to be a doctor, but somewhere down the lane I felt I don't want to be a doctor, though I was like appearing.
But you are a creative person anyway, so
I wanted to stick to science.
You wanted to stick to
science. Life science was something which always excited me. But yeah, it was not that I wanted to be a doctor or thing, but something related to science. But I think I did my like science in my +2. So I had botany, zoology and other subjects, physics, chemistry. So something which excited me was more towards zoology, not towards botany. But since I scored more marks in botany, like I joined BJP college as like for a period when I was switching for a career options. So I got my honors in botany in BJP college. So I wanted to get in zoology, but they like,
did not get it.
No, because the marks
जो मिल रहा है पहले अंदर चले जाना.
So I said ठीक है चलो, I'll take it. I was.
But kitchen कब गए? When did you childhood से कुछ बनाने का मन था या
नहीं वैसा कभी कुछ नहीं था कि हाँ किचन में जाना है, ये करना है. Kitchen was never allowed.
Exactly, correct.
I was a single child. My mother was there to take care of everything. She was someone not like other mothers, like who wants to
protect करके
नहीं वो नहीं, मैं कह रहा हूँ कि जैसे लेडीज होती है ना कि हमको ये बनाना है अपने बच्चे के लिए, अपने हस्बैंड के लिए. She was not that kind of a lady.
जो बन रहा है वही खाना है.
जो बन रहा है खाना है. और like she was not someone who like explore or make new innovative dishes to impress her family. Basic typical Odia food, whatever she knows, वही उनको जो आता है वो बनाती थी और वही खाते थे हम. And so मेरा जो exposure towards food था वो traveling जो initially because of my father के job के वजह से.
But then what drew you towards
as I said, because of my mother. Because my mother was not interested in cooking new things.
So वो नहीं कर रही है तो let me do.
Not like that. She used to say कि अगर तुम्हें what happened, एक funny चीज है, स्कूल में हम टिफिन शेयर करते थे. I think when we were all in school, तो हम
अपना टिफिन से ज्यादा दूसरों का टिफिन.
We were curious to eat दूसरे का. तो one of my friend used to get good tadka. So I will be like, Mama, like he has got good tadka, and why don't you make that tadka like that? So she will be in Odia she will be saying me this कि मन है तो तुम जाके उसके घर पे जाके रह जाओ, मेरे को क्यों बोल रहे हो, मुझे जितना आता है मैं उतना ही बनाऊंगी. And if you are interested then you cook yourself. So these kind of statements she used to give me. And
so that inspired you कि नहीं ठीक है, I'll also try.
It never inspired me, it demotivated me. I don't have option of buying things, or I don't have control over my house. What I can do, right? I don't know how to light a gas or something like that. So I haven't been exposed. She will like, go, I'll cook for you, don't mess my area. Like I think mother also, they own their territory. Right. So they don't like someone. Even now I feel that what she used to feel.
Right. So correct. But अभी वो amateurish खाना बनाने का या experiment करने से expert बनने का, how did this transition happen?
See, it's not about being expert कि ऐसा था कि as I said, that thing happened around this particular thing only कि जब मम्मी ने बोला कि नहीं बनाना है.
ये कौन सा age में you were?
I think I was in my 6th-7th standard.
That is the standard where you thought कि
6th-7th standard, and then मन करता था कि you come from a middle class family, you have your own crisis of thing तब भी ऐसा नहीं है कि यू हैव रेस्टोरेंट्स, यू हैव स्ट्रीट फूड थिंग, मन किया अभी जैसे जोमेटो स्विगी है, पैसे निकाले एंड यू गो टू बाय समथिंग, you get very minimum, not, I never got pocket money as a kid. So my mother will say अगर एक कभी तबीयत खराब हो गया, if you do good results you get, then you get an option of having an ice cream or having chaat or something like that. But one thing is that कि तब एक food culture था कि शाम के time पे we in Odia we call jollikhya. So that jollikhya culture was there. So evening snacks will be mandatorily, there will be bread vada, samosa. ना घर पे नहीं, बाहर से आएगा वो 10 रुपए का वो वड़ा, वो that ghugni and other thing will come. So that thing were never made at home. So my thing was, the question was that why we are not making these things at home or like we are buying it. And then
घर में बनना चालू हुआ?
नहीं हुआ, लेकिन फिर नूडल्स का मुझे बड़ा, वो चाउमीन होता है ना जो स्ट्रीट फूड चाउमीन, that when I used to get fever, my father, I will tell my father I want to eat that egg chowmein, so he will get that. And I was very curious. My mother will make chowmein which doesn't look or resemble or taste like that particular chowmein. So
एक तो भूखा,
I was like ये वो chowmein जैसा क्यों नहीं लग रहा है? So she is like कि ऐसा ही बनता है, ऐसा ही खा लो, सब कुछ डाला है मैंने इसमें. So it used to be white in color, so texture.
But honestly, chowmein वैसे ही होता है actually.
नहीं, Indian chowmein was also far better than my mother what she used to make. So she right now also when I give my interviews and say that my mother doesn't make good food, she get annoyed. Like she doesn't know these kind of food, like these street food or like she knows Odia food well, the basic things. She's very good at that.
So you remember what was the first thing that you made and लगा yeah,
that's what I'm saying, chowmein. So that I used to go to the shops and I used to observe कि वो कैसे निकाल रहा है, कैसे पहला क्या डाल रहा है. तो मैं खड़े होके देखता था, मैंने कहा अच्छा इससे यहीं से सीख लूंगा, उससे पूछूंगा तो बताएगा नहीं वो. तो फिर then I think I started observing it and I made chowmein at my home first time and it turned out really nice and everyone started appreciating. So then I started taking credit and I made good chowmein. I call everyone like in our relatives and all. Sometimes my friends who are there, I said I make good chowmein. So that's how the chowmein gave me a tick for like, oh, I can cook good food. Then I started making dosa, then chaat. So those options which were not available, like you can only get outside, I started trying it at home. So that was the thing. And yes, another interesting thing is that I've done some kind of blunders also at home. When my parents used to go out, I will be at home. So I feel like trying out something and I have messed it like hell. Like I have wasted.
Experiment में mess तो होता ही है, but
I was at school at that particular point of time, and one time my parents went to market. I wanted to have samosa, and I made
samosa.
I tried making something. I put it, and it was a complete waste of. I put mustard oil to fry, and it tasted like hell. And by the time my parents would come, I threw everything. I cleaned. वो वहाँ उसका कोई सुराग ना मिले कि मैंने कुछ वहाँ पे किया है. So these kind of things I have done during my school days when my parents are not around. I've been talking with friends, burning things like.
उसी से तो पता चलता है कि what not to do.
True.
What to do. Of course you learn, but what not to do.
Right.
Do these things. But you tell me, how did your journey for MasterChef began? Because of course
it was never a plan.
Exactly, because
it was never a plan.
It
was never a plan to go to MasterChef India or to be a chef.
Because I'll just tell the audience that you were a government employee, a state government employee, or government job छोड़ना is मतलब सोसाइटी में तो काफी रैगिंग हुआ होगा, घर में of course
that's a different story altogether. Like,
but what made you risk so much?
It was not for MasterChef or not for food.
Yeah, that is for your love for research,
for my studies. I as I said, food was always a kind of a place which make me more comfort with. For my family and for friends to get their appreciation, that was my motivation behind cooking. It was never to establish myself as a person somewhere or to get popularity.
To get to such platform, do you need to prepare too much? I mean, because after what happened,
I think a lot of people do a lot of preparation to be there. They learn, they see a lot of things.
Terminology hai, kuch
lot of things. I think unless and until you don't have that much of passion into it, because my contemporaries who went to this show, they had been watching or following this MasterChef India seasons, how these challenges happen and what kind of cuisine are there. So they have been learning about it. For me, it was a very I never planned for it. I was learning myself. I was teaching myself. Okay, this is that. I was exploring, and meanwhile, a few people around me, they pushed me for this, and they said, "Why don't you go for it?" So then it happened. So that's how it was.
I saw the episode where this Ranveer, Vikas, Garima, and then you gave the dish, and then you were selected to the Master Chef Kitchen.
Yeah.
No questions asked. That was the statement. No questions asked. You are welcome to the Master Chef Kitchen.
Yeah.
And but how did this happen? Of course, you were known throughout the throughout the journey, MasterChef journey. You were known for making amazing Odia cuisines or blending it, those things. But tell me your experience to MasterChef, at least till that no question asked thing.
See, as I said, there was a long journey between this. As I said, from my childhood, it started. And for cooking, it was like because of my mother, she went for a month to my grandparents' house, and she said, "I've been doing a lot for you guys, and both of you manage." So that period of time, for a month, I handled my kitchen, and I was cooking. I was making horrible chapatis. My father will get the curry. I will say, he will say, "Don't make these chapatis. I will get it. Na, I'm getting the curry." Why you are? I said, like, you should be proud that I'm making chapatis for you and you are eating. So why you are being skeptical about it? So that's how it started. And I said, then we switched to, during my college days, I was like, as I said, I used to make chow mein for friends, take it them, get appreciation. And then it got over. Then I get into my agriculture studies. So that part has the key factor which gave me the confidence that I can cook for many people. See, cooking for 3 people for your family is quite an easy job. Yes. They're the measurement, they're the thing that will not in proportion. You can manage it somehow. During my internship of my agriculture, we went to Nuapada, and we were 15 people at same place. And Nuapada, which is the border of your Chhattisgarh, the food was quite spicy outside. So during our internship of agriculture, we have to stay for a month there. We have to do our village programs, go for the checking out all these data and collection, visiting villages. So staying there for a month और वहाँ पे वो वाला खाना खा के मतलब आपकी तबीयत खराब हो जाएगी अगर आप 1 महीना वो खाओगे. That's what the other guys they realized. और वहाँ पे किचन सेटअप, वहाँ पे कृषि विज्ञान केंद्र में किचन सेटअप था, बट इट वाज नॉट फंक्शनल. And I reached to Nuapada.
That's where you stepped in, right?
No, again there is an interesting fact that I was not allowed to step there. One of my friend who was taking care of the food thing, I reached 2 days after the program started, and meanwhile he was managing. He was making only pokhala water rice and some bhoja thing or like stir fried things. So one day I said what he was doing is he was boiling the water first and then adding the rice. I said, why are you doing so? He said, what do you know about cooking? Okay, so one of my friends, he knows that I can cook. And I have cooked for him. Most of my friends used to come to my home, so I will make something interesting so they know.
That was your motivation.
So he knew that Avinash can cook. And when he said something, so he wanted to reply. I said, don't say anything, I'll take an exit, let him do whatever he's doing. Why I should interfere there? So one day what happened, he went for a training program or something he was called for, and it was already 11 or 12. He didn't return back with the other officers. So we can go in a jeep. So limited students to go. We have 15 students. So he was not there. So everyone was like, we are hungry. We want to eat something. Who will make? So then the other friend said, Avinash, you know now, why don't you step in? So then I went and I cooked something over there, and some people were vegetarian. I cooked something in for them. Option was there, and so there was big, like 15 people, and the tumblers were big. Gas was big. So I cooked. Experience. First time I was cooking for 15 people, and everyone was like, "What Saroj was cooking? Like we were eating bullshit till date." So So when he entered, he was not expecting that food will be ready. And everyone was like from banana, and फिर अब था कि तू अब किचन में आएगा भी नहीं, तो उसको हेल्प करने आ सकता है, but you will not enter the kitchen. Security आ गया है. So उसको मना किया गया, and then I started doing, and I started cooking a lot of things out there. Whatever my friends insisted कि आज खीर खाना है, आज चिकन बनाना है, somebody got recruitment. So that लिस्ट आना चालू हो गया. तो वो हो गया. फिर उसके बाद I think that was one which gave me confidence that I can cook for a big group of people. Then come another 15 people. So there were 30 people. So I was started cook from 15. It went to 30.
That is a good experience.
So but it was for survivability. It was never for being a chef or being like मैं ये करना है मुझे professionally.
So when I asked few of my friends that I am having a podcast with Avinash, they asked me one thing which I must ask you. Is MasterChef scripted?
No.
जो होता है, जो is that scripted?
No, not at all. It's not scripted, but there is a format. There is a format. Suppose we are having a particular challenge. So obviously there is a scripting done, right? If
scripting means वो नहीं. Scripting मतलब the other.
No, not that way. We don't know about it. Like see, whatever.
Of course, yes.
You have to act whatever situation comes. Right
so
now.
How's that pressure? You tell me. जो time चलता रहता है, and then
I think everyone has pressure. Even we are sitting over here, we have a pressure, right? So you have a setup to put things. You want things to be in a certain way. So same way, it is a reality show. You have cameras all around. You have 1 hour of time limit. Within that also there are like things happening. There are brandings of things. Amul was not first the brand. I remember I was adding milk to one of my dish. And they said अमूल नहीं दिख रहा है अविनाश और थोड़ा उसमें दूध डालो तो मेरा हो गया उतना और नहीं डाल सकता तो थोड़ा डाल दे उसमें वो पैकेट नहीं दिख रहा है so obviously you have the camera people will be like वहाँ पे अटके होंगे आपको वहाँ पे काम करने में I was cleaning my counter तो वहाँ पे टिश्यूज था तो उस कैमरामैन ने वो टिश्यू उठा दिया वहां से आई वॉज लुकिंग वेयर द टिश्यू हैज गॉन सो दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग हैपन मीनवाइल आपको 1 घंटे में खाना बनाना है मीनवाइल द जजेस विल बी कमिंग लाइक एंड दैट टाइम यू आर इंस्ट्रक्टेड यू हैव टू स्टॉप एंड मेरे दिमाग में चल रहा होगा भैया मेरा खाना नहीं बना है मुझे पूछो मत पूछो बट यू हैव टू यस शेफ यू हैव टू
Now, how was it to deal with them or interact with them?
I think I was very calm during my show. Like even day before yesterday, I think I'm being loud and talking so frankly here. Yesterday, one lady who stays just next to us, I went to their home. So one of their somebody guests was visiting them. And she saw me and she was like, you are Avinash Patnaik who went to MasterChef. So they have a kid. So I was like talking to him and he was like, you were in the show very quiet, na? You look very jolly and happy, but you were not speaking a lot in the show. So that was not my territory. I was that dumb kid in the classroom who does the syllabus is new for him. So I was trying to understand how things are functioning here. And
they definitely loved you though. I know because when he came to Odisha, you had hosted him. And
that way, I have I was very happy with my journey. What I went with a vision, not for winning the show or something. I had a very clear vision. When I went there, I thought I should represent the place where I come from. not only Odisha but also the background which I come from, my educational background.
Yeah.
And I tried to represent food which has never been talked about or has not got that limelight in or attention, because before me the person who won the show was Avinash Patnaik, and he
Correct.
has represented already Odisha, and he has highlighted some of the dishes. So I don't want I had a pressure on me, I should not be repeating the same dishes. So that was there. So I should be doing something different from what they have already done. So there were two contestants who have represented Odisha.
And both names.
Yeah, they were like finalists and they went so far. So even during my audition, they were there. Do you know who won? And you asked me na how I went to MasterChef India. So it was Avinash who actually, when the season he auditioned, he told me that we should or you should also go for this. I was not a very competitive person, frankly speaking. I never feel like I don't come in a setup where I can compete. I said I'm not interested. You go na, and both of us, because he was preparing for it. He was working in Infosys and he was about to leave his job, and I was in a phase where I was about to quit. And I was like, I'm not in the right state of mind, and he said, I'm doing a mock cookpad, some forum is there, contest is there, so let's participate in that. It will give an idea how the MasterChef works. I said, you go for it, na, don't push me, I don't push me for that. He said, no, just, it will be, there 5 people have to be in one group, it has to be one team, so let's do it. So I said, okay, so I pushed myself, and you have to write all recipes, procedures, but I learned something in that process, which I was like skipping away. I was always in the process of that part of it. Something helped me, and I innovated things, think of like something out of the way. So that was his forte. And then he auditioned in Hyderabad. I auditioned here in Bhubaneswar. The way they were questioning you, it was a grilling. And Smriti was on the next room, both of our audition were going on, and they asked me some person. My profile was same. I quit my job. I can't talk about like why I left, and I said I have some different plans about food. The food what I made that time, what I made this time for my audition in Bhubaneswar was just a small portion of it. But I know that this time it's not only food, but it's also about how you represent yourself.
How you represent this. And then how to be systematic. Those things at least.
It is not only a food. It's not only a food show. You have to.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. It is beyond food.
Beyond food. You are representing a community. You are representing your state. You are representing your personality. Like people say that more than your food, we like the way you conducted yourself.
There is one question I must ask you with this. Because you were famous, at least in Odisha and otherwise too, definitely, but in Odisha specifically every household had two things: your Sambalpuri shirt and your hairstyle. I mean that was this thing. Of course, I see you have.
I don't have hair right now.
You changed it. What changed? Because shirt is of course.
Shirt is there. Handlooms were always a thing. I've seen my father wearing handloom shirt. He never gave his shared shirts with me, so I always wanted to have. So when I started working, I became independent. I started wearing these handloom shirts. And if you see pick up any important event मेरे life में कहीं पे भी, I wore handloom always there. So it was not that conscious decision that I am going to a show. So it was very organic for me to wear and being comfortable.
At that platform, thinking.
I was skeptical. I tell you.
वहाँ पे भी I think कहीं पे शो में they also suggest you कि आपको ये पहनना चाहिए. I don't know.
Actually, in previous season they were providing clothes. During this season our channel has changed. Now Sony is doing. Earlier it was in Star Plus. So with us it started in. Earlier it was only Saturday Sunday. For us it became a daily soap. From Monday to Friday it was showing. So we had cooking round the week. So during that time, what happened is wearing this clothes thing was, for them it was not there. for us, we were asked to get our own clothes. And so whatever you will see the contestants are wearing, most of them are wearing their own clothes over there, because that is representing them, that is what they are, right?
No, that is nice of them to have allowed it.
And
about your
no, like with the shirt thing again, I've told you I was skeptical. I thought that if I'll wear during Bhubaneswar audition, I didn't wear handloom. I wear something which I usually wear, and then I thought maybe I will be stereotyped, like I'm wearing handloom. But then somebody who is has important role in my life, he said, I want to gift you one handloom shirt, and that shirt I wore for the audition. What you saw me.
You believe in that? Believe in being lucky with the...
I don't know, because my clothes was a blue color thing, and my dish was having the blue color blue pea flower, and that universe was like everything is falling in place. It was not planned at all. It was somebody's gift, and I was wearing this, and I went with a vision. It all happened that way. So सब कुछ
आपका
बाल का था कि बाल का कोविड था तो इसलिए बाल नहीं काटा था. मैं जब बच्चा था, छोटा था, तो बहुत लंबे बाल थे टिल 2 साल तक.
I thought कि that was your signature.
नहीं, बाल का था ऐसा कि 2019 में कोविड हुआ, देन लॉकडाउन स्टार्टेड, आई कुड नॉट कट माय हेयर, एंड उसके बाद व्हाट हैपेंड, आई सॉ ए वीडियो. तब तक बाल ऐसे ही, तब तो बाहर नहीं जाना था, तो आई वाज लाइक द हेयर वाज ग्रोइंग. उसके बाद मैंने एक वीडियो देखा जिसमें एक बच्चे ने, इट वाज बेसिकली माधुरी दीक्षित सन, उसके लंबे बाल थे. ही डोनेटेड हिज हेयर टू द कैंसर सर्वाइवर्स. So that inspired me. अगर एक इतने साल का बच्चा अगर like he kept his hair for a cause, why I should not be doing it? And
so you did that?
So yes, I never spoke about it in the show during, except my parents. Nobody knew that why I'm growing my hair. So I've been like mocked by people, like why you're keeping hair, लड़कियों के जैसे बाल क्यों रख रहे हो, तुम क्या बाबा बन जाओगे या क्यों? Like there were assumptions like why you are going it.
But you never thought of answering them?
No, I never answered them or never felt. I've been, even one of my professor in my college said, you have to cut your hair. Your conduct is wrong the way you are coming to college like this. I will write a letter to your HOD in front of some students. I said, sorry, I have a reason behind why I'm keeping my hair. I can't tell you. And no matter whatever you do, go for it. I'm not going to cut my hair. So a lot of things have been said. I never spoke about it, and I had a vision. Okay, chalo, MasterChef thing happened. At least the cause what I'm doing for will be known to more people, and more people will get inspired to do so. So that was a thought. And last year I donated my hair to a foundation, and so that was the story behind my long hair.
Now I just respect and admire you more. So in fact, to be honest, I came to know about edible flowers only when I was researching about you.
Achha.
I was not even aware.
Before that you never...
honestly, and I think I'm not just saying this because because I've researched about you, but I think a larger population would not know about it, honestly. So what is your research about? I mean, with edible flowers, because that seems fascinating. That is this one. But and then second is, what inspired you to pursue your research on edible flowers? Or
basically, if you see my background, I did my graduation in agriculture for 4 years. After that, I did my post graduation in floriculture and landscape gardening, which is horticulture, part of horticulture.
Horticulture.
Yes, horticulture is a part of your agriculture, and then in horticulture we have 4 departments. That is pomology, that is study of fruit, then olericulture is your study of vegetable, then you have floriculture, that is study of flower, then you have spices and condiments, that is another department. So my department which I pursued is floriculture and landscape gardening. So basically, it's all about study of flowers and how you like design a garden or these roads, institutes. So bioaesthetic planning of these places are part of my CAD, AutoCAD designing. These part of my studies. So I did my specialization in floriculture. I did my master's in Coimbatore. So there I got a lot. That's one of the best agriculture university, and MS Swaminathan, who is the father of Green Revolution, he is an alumni of that particular university. So I always wanted to do one of my degree from that place, and it was a botanical garden. It highly inspired me in a lot of way. Like inside a botanical garden, I had that British era botanical garden. My department was inside it. Every day I will see plants, trees around me. I had an orchid. My research was in orchids. So inside an orchidarium, I was working for 6 months there. So a lot of exposure I got. I went out for first time in a hostel life. But that city, I got exposure again to South Indian flavors and food. So in my early stage I was in East, then North, extreme North, then
entire India.
so I was covering. I learned languages out there. I started talking in Tamil. I had friends from my roommates were from Andhra. I had a Kerala friend from, so like a lot of people, a lot of exposure of like international students were also there. So we had international hostels. So I learned a lot about international food. I served them Odia food that time. So when I was in hostel, I used to cook in there. So they just like, I still remember there was a guy from I think he was from Nigeria. He will call me from Nigeria and say, "My friend, today I made the dalma." So I made him eat dalma, and he loved it, and he wrote the recipe, and I wrote 2 recipes to him, and he went back and he tried that. And whenever he will cook dalma, he will like call me up and he'll inform. So that was one thing. That was no Instagram, Facebook, and thing. So I always wanted to promote, and whatever the place I come from. My Ethiopian friend, my friend was from Ethiopia. For him, I cooked this dalma. 2 other people came, saw what you were cooking. There was dal, there were vegetables, and these people, they don't see so many vegetables. They don't know how to use them. And so there was a guy from Czechoslovakia, this guy from Nigeria, and my Ethiopian friend. We all 4, I cooked a meal for 2 people, then ultimately 2 other people joined, and they loved the food. So that is how it all went off.
But can you tell about some lesser known facts about this edible flower?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting into it. So when it happened with edible flowers, as I said, my department was this. I was working with orchids. Then when I joined my department and I was working, that time one of my friends talked about like, Avinash, you cook, you put these stories in your WhatsApp story about food. Why don't you open a page? I had a travel page. I was traveling alone, traveling to places. I've been traveling voraciously. Yeah, so exposure to different food, culture, that was happening.
That actually also might have changed.
Right. And as an artistic thing also, so I see different cultures, crafts, those were exciting me. And then meanwhile what happened is, one of my friends, she insisted me, why don't you have a page, you have a travel page, why don't you have a page with food and art and things? So on the same day in 2017, I opened 2 pages. One page is Bukkad Insan, which is my food handle, and another one was Kalakar Babu. Yeah, both are active. The travel page has become more inactive. So Bukkad Insan, and the name
on YouTube,
every Twitter, YouTube. YouTube is Avinash Patnaik only, but in Twitter and Facebook, every Bukkad Insan. And the name was given by one of my juniors. He used to, when I was in West Bengal doing my PhD, part of.
But you don't eat, you serve.
No, I eat. I eat a lot.
You eat a lot.
I'm the dustbin of the group. So that's how, like, I feel hungry every 1 hour, like that. I eat voraciously. At midnight, I will eat something. I'll finish 1 dabba of biscuits, mixtures, whatever. I'll crave for food. So one of my junior used to call me, अरे भुक्कड़ भैया आ गए, इनको हर 1 घंटे के बाद भूख लगता है. So then I thought क्या नाम देना, some picky name should be there, like catchy name. So I put it like भुक्कड़ इंसान. And then it started, and I started putting only.
Is that a formal organized Bhukkad Insan or just a page?
It's a page, and I have a team right now to work on it gradually on my own. Like I started off like that. So I started when I left my job. That time with Bhukkad cakes and all. That was like I thought, okay, what I should do. So as food, when I left the job and COVID hit. That particular time, because of my food thing, I become financially like strong. That gives me the sustainability to survive. What happened is that I said what I should do. So before quitting, I started taking orders, and from my home, people will come and pick up.
This is before MasterChef.
These are all before MasterChef.
MasterChef happened only last year.
Right. So during that particular time, that gives me the particular sustainability and confidence that okay, after quitting job I can do. And related to flour thing, it was till that point of time, this flour part has not got into my life. I'll get into it gradually. It was not the process. So what happened is then I started taking orders. I got my first 500 rupees of, I made a vegan cake. We are talking about, there was one lady, she got introduced to an animal welfare thing she was running here, and she said, I have my birthday on coming 1st January, and I heard that like you make good cakes, like can you try making a vegan cake? And that was my first order. I said, okay, I can try. And I made a first vegan cake and got my first hard-earned money of 500 rupees. And I gave it to my mom. That is, and then pehli kamai I was getting the job, but this was something with food and with all my efforts I did that, and then she was very happy about it, and then it all started off.
Now you are not pursuing it.
After COVID hit, I stopped doing it. But I used to make some doodles on it. I made to personalized effects on it and write those things. And then it all started.
But you are not making a full-fledged...
No, I stopped it because COVID happened, and to be on a safer side.
Do that again?
I'll see if I get time. Nowadays, schedule is so hectic, I'm not getting time for myself. So even I don't get time to die also. So then what happened is this, when I opened this page, I started learning different skills of like food photography, food styling, and meanwhile, one friend told me I got some blue tea. Okay.
What is blue tea?
That's what she said, I got blue tea. I said, what is blue tea? So she have a sachet of blue tea. I was very fascinated. Oh, how come a tea is blue? And then she gave me one sachet, and I read the ingredient in it. I got to know there's flour in it. There is blue pea flour. That is Aparajita, which I used in the show.
I saw that.
So I was like, this is a common flower. मतलब अपराजिता फूल हर किसी के घर में हर जगह पे, and that packet she bought was for 500 rupees. मैंने कहा 500 रुपए देके पैकेट वो 200 ग्राम का चीज खरीद रहे हो तुम, और लाइक कि और you're paying so much, and it is just next to my house. So that's how it, and since I come from, अगर मैंने पढ़ाई नहीं किया होता, अगर मैं I was not into agriculture and horticulture, तो मैं वो ingredient पढ़ के भी नहीं देखता और मुझे curious भी नहीं होता,
खरीदता भी नहीं, मतलब
she gifted me, or I saw it out of curiosity, and then this is how the seed of edible flower, और मैं उसी subject में specialization कर रहा हूँ. तो मैंने कहा कि ये एक territory.
Is that scalable? You think that is scalable?
Yeah, it is, and I think.
Is it sustainable? I mean, flowers.
Absolutely,
because otherwise, the flowers का कोई use.
Absolutely, it's very sustainable. It has its own prospect, but it is not project. A lot of people are doing it. It's not that
लेकिन अभी तक mainstream में it has not come.
It has come up, and I think a lot of people we think is that we see world. अगर हम इतने में देखेंगे तो हमको इतना ही दिखेगा. We don't broaden our vision. So before me, a lot of people have discovered it. It's not that me who is, but I'm like trying to promote it and like be loud about it. So, and just because I have a professional degree, I know which part is edible, how much it should be drank, what.
So suppose a startup wants to create as a tea.
There are startups. They have been to Shark Tank India. There is blue or tea companies there. That same company which I posted about in Instagram, they went to Shark Tank India. They contacted me after I went to MasterChef. They said, Avinash, we want to give you a hamper to you from us because you were someone who promoted us long back when we didn't went to Shark Tank.
So nice of them and so nice of you.
But I didn't got that anything from them because I don't feel like taking things free gift coupon and all. So I said,
no, that gesture is good.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that ki chalo they remembered that particular thing. So from that I started exploring. I started researching on these, what kind of edible flowers are there. There are so many edible flowers in Odisha.
That's healthy also.
Yeah, very much.
They're healthier than
See, you have in your tea, there is a concept we need to understand. Chai, tea, chaha, whatever we say. Tea is what we are consuming with milk, is a leaf of a particular plant, right? Correct. So that particular plant, we can add milk to it and it becomes chai or cha or Indian tea. But masala tea, masala tea, Indian tea, whatever you can say. But the tea, the term tea, if you define it technically, is something which is brewed along with a water. Any water is brewed with any leaf or bark or any flower. That's a tea. Even if you boil a water, that is a tea. But if you add something into it, like leaf or flower, then that becomes that particular tea. So we need to understand chai is what we are drinking and the tea what we are defining. So it's a part of the different kind of a tea.
So no, because we are talking about health and these things, I'll just discuss in this rapid changing world with with technology coming in, and especially COVID have made us little health conscious.
Right.
But with health consciousness, there is a culture of convenience. People want things quick. They want packaged food. They want convenient food.
Right.
They want they say go to option food immediately. They don't want to wait. They don't have patience. Yet they want healthy option. So what do you think? How this eating habit can get healthier with this consumer preference? What do you think is the future?
I think for me, being healthy has a very lot of aspects to it. It cannot be only food.
Correct.
You need to be physically active also, do a lot of physical activity along with this thing, mentally, physically, everything. So when it comes to edible flower, definitely they have a good impact on your body because tea and coffee have caffeine, but this flower doesn't have caffeine. You don't get addicted to this particular kind of tea. So that's the one added thing. Other part of it, you can see they have antioxidants. So high amount of antioxidants in them. So these tea provide you like your free radicals also get trapped and your anti-aging activity. But it cannot be like,
only having that thing will not help. You have to
only having that.
Also this.
See, as you said, preference. We are drinking chai, coffee since our ages. You will offer me a water which is blue in color, doesn't have a taste and flavor.
I will not like it. I might like it for a few days.
My family doesn't drink. My mother will you drink that kind of tea. I will drink my chai. I'm not someone.
That
is what my father will drink this kind of hibiscus tea or whatever tea I'm making. He will prefer. But my mom doesn't prefer to have this. She knows these have good. She will preach other people. You know, my son make these kind of tea, and but she doesn't drink it. Okay, so she has tried it, but she doesn't like. I am not fond of these kind of tea. So you have it. So again, our adaptability to these kind of product is also. It's not in our culture of what we are eating. So this is how that particular thing, whether we have to, as a system, like as an educational system, we teach kids this is that you have to eat this. So it is to part of your own culture.
But with the culture of pizza, I'm not against pizza. I'm just saying with the culture of having outside food and those culture, how do you think to balance taste with a healthy lifestyle?
See, we can have pizza, burger, whatever you want. It's not that you should not eat. अगर हम कुछ भी खा रहे हैं, मतलब बॉडी एक ऐसा चीज है, उसमें आपको अच्छे के साथ थोड़ा एडमिक्सचर, अदरवाइज हाउ यू विल टेस्ट योर इम्यूनिटी. Indians are COVID आया, we had these street, so but it should not be a regular thing that you will be having it. You can have it, but in optimum. Everything, even good things, turmeric is good for your health. That doesn't mean that you will eat. There is a permissible limit to that particular. So
excess, nothing.
It should be optimum.
Yeah, somewhere I've heard this कि आप शुगर भी ले सकते हो, सॉल्ट भी ले सकते हो, हर चीज लेता है, लेकिन
हर चीज
लेना चाहिए, but that's permissible.
Everything. It's oil is important. Now I like zero oil cooking. Damn, like you need your body need moisture. Yes. You put moisturizer, but if you don't consume nuts, you don't consume oil, how it will naturally your glands will secrete gland. So I think in the name of healthy, we are making people conscious. If I'm not happy, what I will eat. हमको बचपन में बोला जाता था कि खुशी मनरे खाई ले. In Odia we've been said देहो को लागी वो, right? That thing. तो अगर आप happiness, if I'm always afraid, how much calorie I ate, is this healthy or is it? We are always in a dilemma. Come on, food is something to be cherished. It should be enjoyed. I'll be going.
People are conscious kitna calorie खा रहा है.
Now it is too much. Now I find, come on, you can have a chole bhature. What's the problem in a culturally? If you see North Indian people, you will see people, those who are of 70, 80, 80, 90 साल के लोग, वो लोग आज भी जिंदा हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि वो लोग अच्छा खाना खाते थे और ऐसा नहीं है कि ये नहीं खाना है, वो नहीं खाना है, वो उसके साथ heavy physical activity भी करते थे. So it is not only food thing. I do a lot of these kind of food, but क्या खा रहे हो वो important है.
क्योंकि आजकल ये ट्रेंड है, नहीं ग्लूटेन फ्री खाना है, वीगन खाना है.
नहीं खा सकते हैं. आपका बॉडी अगर you are lactose intolerant, you can have vegan food. It is not.
But if you're not intolerant, then at least have.
I'm telling you, I had a friend visiting from UK. He was basically from Manchester. वो मेरे घर पे आया हुआ था. I was doing I used to host people earlier. तो मेरे घर पे people used to be in couchsurfing. I used to host. तो वो 7 दिन के लिए आया और he was a vegan. वो खाता नहीं था, तो मैंने उसको सुबह चाय बना के दिया था and he tried. नहीं मिल्क वाला नहीं, नॉर्मल ऐसे लेमन ग्रास टी का मैंने कुछ दिया था और उसमें मैंने हनी डाला था. He drank that. He said, "What is the sweet thing?" I said, "I added honey." Sorry, I can't have that. I said, "What? It's honey, na?" No, it's from honey bee. You have exploited honey bee and then you have added this. मुझे लगता था कि सिर्फ दूध और यही vegan होता है, but that is an extreme part of veganism. So then I got introduced to okay, what is being vegan, and he never influenced me. मैंने घर पे बोला कि मैं भैया अब non-veg नहीं खाऊंगा. My parents were scared. Are you nuts? क्यों नहीं खाओगे भैया?
But you take or you don't take?
I eat everything. I don't have any inhibition in food. I have explored myself while I travel. I try.
Choice भी नहीं होता होगा कभी?
Choice नहीं, मैं अपने आप को open रखता हूँ for ये. I was not, as a kid I was not like that. But as I grew older and like I got that maturity, I started eating everything. I feel every food, every seasonal. हाँ, और एक चीज important चीज क्या है कि seasonal चीजों को हमें खाना चाहिए. whatever comes in season, it's jamun or whatever. There are a lot of edible flowers in different parts of Odisha that comes in season, that is available in that particular heart and communities. We stay in township. Why we are getting away from it? We are staying in apartment culture.
With urbanization and this thing also.
We don't have backyards. We don't have this thing. So earlier these edible flowers, there was one flower called Jhumpudi Sago, we call them, and it looks in green in color. It's a flower, but we call it sago because it looks green. And that was a delicious sag that used to be consumed. Now in northern Odisha and other parts, it's available. So Jhumpudi sago has gone now. Now I can see in places in the city. There are some places near to my house. It's there, but nobody know that it is a Jhumpudi sago. People just see and ignore it. So it's our ignorance.
You are a teacher at heart. You are passionate for teaching. What I learned. Apart from food, I think the other thing that you love is teaching. Food, of course, is one thing. Or what?
I love to learn. I would say I would love to learn, and even while I took an exit from the MasterChef kitchen, that's what I said.
Yes,
and this is always like it's a mutual process.
But sharing the learning is also important. So
that's true. While so in that process also you are learning.
Yes, learning.
If I'll not learn, how I'll teach you?
Teaching is also a learning process.
Exactly. If the day I will think I know everything,
then
I cannot grow. So it is very important as a person, you have to learn. हमेशा आपको सीखना है. अगर आप नहीं सीखोगे तो फिर आप कभी बढ़ोगे नहीं आगे. और जिस दिन आप सोचोगे सब सीख लिया, सब खत्म.
You are training later. But what is your future plan now? Because people admire you. You actually inspire people. Honestly, with the kind of with the kind of thoughts you have, with the kind of the way you speak. People get inspired. So people would definitely want to know what's next.
See, as you said, being as a teacher, it's also my responsibility. What I'm saying is also get multiplied to so many other people. So I have in this process when I was doing my PhD, I was lucky enough that in the same university where I was a student, I was allowed and got a chance, an opportunity to teach undergraduate students, postgraduate students. I was taking their theory, practical classes. So meanwhile in the classes, I felt the education system, the way we have been taught, it needs little bit of change. You need to awaken these students, the mindset. We have been always taught, you have to compete, you have to study, you have to vomit out your whatever you have studied. But in the learning process, we have never focused how a student should learn a lot. So that teaching methodology, that thing in the process, I was trying to reinvent things. And meanwhile, as you asked, that will be always there. My final journey will be, I want to be in the academics. I want to be part of the fraternity of agriculture thing, which always I take pride in agriculture or horticulture field. I will be always there. Along with that, related to food, the journey will never end. It's such a territory that you keep on exploring. Every day there is new thing. I used to think, okay, the 2-4 ingredient dekh liya, ho gaya. But the next day I see some new amazing ingredients. I didn't know about this. There are so many local indigenous things which my parents know. They never revealed it to me. Nowadays they tell me ki, "Arey, you didn't." I said, "You never told me about this particular leaf or plant is growing. It's a weed." But they said, "No. We never thought that you will be getting into this particular field of study, or you will be curious about these things." So we never shared with you. So the transmission of knowledge things are also getting restricted. So the vision of this food, this knowledge of sharing, this will continue.
But because being young and then people looking forward to you, can we expect either an enterprise from you, or you guiding or mentoring few startups either in agriculture, food, or academics, anywhere?
I'm open for consultation, and I'm doing that a little bit of consultation. Along with that, I will be bringing out these stories of food to to those stories. And one long-term vision, I want to publish a book on these edible flowers with these recipes. That's one goal that I have. And apart from that, if someday, I don't have plans of opening a restaurant and thing, but someday maybe a home cafe.
Yeah, home cafe? Wow.
Yeah, kind of a home cafe where, like, in my own setup, not very lot of people, not a very commercial setup. Maybe 3 to 4 people exclusively come, and I can create all these plants and these flower recipes, these exclusive recipes for them. So that is one long-term goal, or like aim. Maybe you never know. Yeah, that will happen. So those are things.
But what will you advise to the young people who actually want to do something in agriculture space or in the food industry, because these are your fortes? So what would be
in food industry, I would say, like, I've not done professionally studied food, but if you're really passionate about being into food industry, then write your exams, go for any IHM institute,
don't compromise on studies.
Do it professionally. Like, since I have a backup thing, I devoted my whole education into agriculture. I'll never divert from that. So along with my passion and education, I amalgamate both the things, and I'm taking it forward. So there is no confusion. So I think for the younger generation, I would say, like, you should focus what you want. You should be clear about what you want to do. Unless and until you are not clear about your vision, if you are not clear, how can you understand other 4 people around you? So be clear whatever decisions you are taking. Along with that, you need the support of people around you. Have good people around you who can motivate you in your life journey. Not many people, but very few people will be there for you. Genuine people, and your parents and other people, their support. It's not a single man journey. It's always a group. They might not be visible in front of the camera.
Indirectly, consciously, subconsciously, but
there are a lot of people involved in your journey. So the Rome was never built in a day, and it was built by so many people. So same way, if I am sitting here and talking to you, my journey was not a lot of people are there. So I would suggest, like, be focused, whatever you want to do. Now the era is not like you have to do engineering or medical. The options are open. You can Google, you can check in internet what career you want to pursue. Resources to explore. So in a simple way, I think if I tell you do this, that doesn't work. So you need to be clear what you want to do, why you want to do, pursue it.
Amazing. So thank you.
All my pleasure.
We had a long discussion, but thank you for your time, patience. You are a good listener.
No. I don't know how much.
I think people will love this. I'm telling you, because I myself have learned a lot from you. So thank you everyone.
All my pleasure.
Thank you for watching this episode, and please do subscribe for more such insightful videos. So stay happy, stay healthy. Thank you.